Okay, first, you're not gonna believe this. Second, you might want to sit down for it. And third, trust me, this is going to blow your mind. The original draft of Cars 3, conceived back in 2013-14, was far more twisted, sinister, and darker than Cars 2 or any Pixar film ever made. And we're gonna dissect everything we can infer from the leaked storyboard, why it got scrapped, and whether shelving it was ultimately the right call. Trust me, the full story is going to shock you. But before we go into the intricacies, we need to talk about the source. 6 days ago on August 8th, a YouTuber by the name of Daxx Ghost uploaded a video titled Cars 3 Original Plot Storyboard. He had previously posted other test scenes and rare teasers from the Cars franchise. According to his description, the footage came from John Huffman's official portfolio website, Huffman being one of the several storyboard artists on Cars 3. Daxx Ghost even provided a trace link to the material, which has since been locked behind a password. Then, just a day later, another YouTuber uploaded the same storyboard footage, plus additional sequences closely tied to the other deleted scenes from the later iterations of Cars 3, all originating from the same website. From there, Twitter picked it up, and the second video has slowly been getting traction ever since. Based on the footage, the source, and its clear connection to John Huffman, it's safe and highly probable to assume this is authentic and represents one of the several key concepts Pixar explored. I've included both uploaders' link in the description and comments, so you can watch them for yourself. Definitely check them out. Now, onto the main course. Here's a breakdown of the original story, all the hints and hidden details, and trust me, you have no idea how much it gives away. First, here's a quick summary before we dive into the detailed breakdown. In the original plot of Cars 3, Lightning McQueen becomes the victim of identity theft, his body swapped with that of a criminal named Gerald Carr. The storyboard scene we're looking at takes place after the swap, when McQueen, now trapped in Gerald's body, tracks down where Gerald lives and begins to uncover the truth. The video opens with McQueen, yes, that's him post-body swap, approaching a secluded oil rig known as Oildale, played by traumatic flashbacks of the place. As he cautiously moves forward, we see a mailbox crowded with unanswered envelopes outside a small weathered house bearing the name Carr, Gerald's last name. McQueen steps inside what appears to be an abandoned home, but this is where the scene starts revealing the core plot through subtle yet crucial details. The first frame shows a wall covered with photo frames of Gerald at different stages of life, gloomy, lonely snapshots of graduation, Christmas mornings, and other milestones. As the years progress, the images take a darker tone, showing a younger Carr, whose seriousness and bitterness seems to grow with age. While McQueen studies the collage, a car suddenly darts past the hallway in a horror-esque fashion. Following the movement, he stumbles upon piles of unopened luxury packages: Amazon, Panasonic, Sony, Apple, Jeep, expensive shipments stacked high but never touched. Then, out of nowhere, an old lady appears. She immediately begins scolding McQueen, who's clearly mistaking him for Gerald. From their conversation, we learn she's Gerald's grandmother, Myuu. She notices his voice sounds different but doesn't question it deeply. Here's where the second big frame comes in. Myuu complains that Gerald hasn't visited in a long time and has been trying to butter her up with these lavish gifts. She considers them a waste of space, her disappointment in him palpable. Her attention shifts when a broadcast on the TV shows McQueen, Gerald in that body, announcing his retirement from racing and proposing to Sally. Myuu marvels at McQueen's discipline and talent, praising how he used his gifts to become a true champion. Then she turns to Gerald, really, that's McQueen in Gerald's body, and says,
What? Couldn't you be more like him, Gerald? Make something out of your life.
This moment delivers a massive plot revelation. The wall of photos suggests this. Gerald grew up lonely and felt like a failure in Mima's eyes, with McQueen constantly held up as a golden standard of success. That constant comparison brewed deep resentment and envy. Then Gerald's only path to validation became becoming McQueen. That's why Gerald went into the world of crimes and deeply studied body swapping. It's later revealed that he'd done several procedures like that with the ultimate goal of body swapping with McQueen and becoming him. And hence, after the body swap, he was trying to win his grandmother's approval with the extravagant gift list, which was now afforded with McQueen's wealth. That also explains why Mima says he hasn't visited in a while, because he's not in his old body anymore.
Finally decide to come home, did ya? I swear it's pathetic. Always trying to butter me up. Don't change the fact that you're a waste of metal.
Those unopened gift boxes and unanswered letters were still there in that state because of her disappointment in his disappearance. As far as storyboards go, to fit in these many details and context really shows why Pixar were the best in the business for decades. And the next clever detail is where they truly blow the waters out of the park, in my opinion. In the TV broadcast, Gerald, in McQueen's body, announces his retirement. The real reason: Gerald isn't a racer. He'd be exposed instantly if he tried. Retiring while on top is his cover story. It's a line McQueen himself would never say.
Yesterday, you announced your retirement.
Why? Just look at him.
Going out on my own terms.
Talented.
That's in fact the whole plot of Cars 3's theatrical version. He's determined to keep racing despite younger talents overtaking him. In just 3 minutes, this scene packs a staggering amount of character development and backstory, but it doesn't cease there. The storyboard continues with McQueen entering Gerald's garage, a disturbing space filled with broken glass, stripped car bodies, and what appears to be a red spoiler or body part resembling McQueen's own. Soon, a SWAT team arrives, believing Gerald's attempt and failed in a crime against McQueen. In reality, the crime succeeded, they just don't know a body swap occurred. McQueen tries to explain they're in Gerald's hideout, urging them to search it, but no one believes him. At one point, he calls out to a green car named Cruz. This version of Cruz looks nothing like the one in the final film, and is also a male. From leaks, it seems at least 3 different versions of Cruz were developed over time, and we'll get to that later. But coming back to the story, here, Cruz is still connected to Team Rusty's, possibly as a racer, possibly in another role, and is somehow involved in the investigation. He was apparently detained to help track Gerald until he was caught. As Cruz talks with McQueen to get him to surrender, they uncover the ultimate evidence: a board meticulously documenting McQueen's physical traits, friends, license plate, even intimate photos of Sally and similar dossiers on other victims. Cruz realizes this was indeed McQueen and telling the truth, but before they can show the evidence, the SWAT team floods the room with smoke grenades and detonations, destroying the evidence. With nothing to prove his case and still on the search, McQueen makes a narrow escape through a tunnel as the chase continues. That's the board Gerald used and studied for years to hatch the crime, the one that I mentioned earlier. It also explains why Gerald so quickly proposes to Sally when you look at how he viewed her. All of these work together to pitch the film's vision. The first part of the storyboard reveals the setup. The latter drives the plot. The film's story would have began after the body swap, revealed to the audience through flashbacks and McQueen's own recollections. The main arc would have seen him in Gerald's body, trying to prove that the swap crime happened, while trying to escape the police and collect the necessary evidence. Having dissected this story in such manner, there comes 2 questions on legitimacy and cancellation reason. On legitimacy issues, this footage is almost certainly real. It traces directly back to John Huffman's 2013-14 storyboard work. You can trace it through the last edited dates on the frames. This was way before Cars 3's final plot was locked in, and it aligns perfectly with Cars 2's more espionage-driven darker tone, and making it plausible Pixar explored even darker ground before it was scrapped. Was this too dark for kids? Absolutely. There was no way Disney was going to greenlight a project like this. Disney's family-friendly brand simply couldn't carry a children's film with this kind of dark and sinister plot. Pixar might have been willing to push boundaries. After all, they've included really unsettling moments in past storyboards, the nightmare and car-crushing scenes in the previous Car films. But was Disney attached? Yeah, it was never gonna happen. From a creative standpoint, the potential was huge. Even Twitter went wild over just 6 minutes of leaked footage. The chase sequences, character drama, and tension-filled investigation would have been unlike anything Pixar had done before. But keeping Cars 3's story clean and PG ensured the franchise's brand stayed intact. And I wouldn't have it any other way. With that said, I'd still watch this version. In fact, Pixar could easily create spin-off shows with these darker and more mature storylines. Heck, you know what, Pixar? Drop Elio and drop whatever the heck you're working on and give us this. It's more compelling than anything Pixar has done in a decade, especially with the actual mess that was Cars 3. Speaking of which, that wasn't all we got about the film. The newly unarchived videos revealed more deleted stories and concepts from the latter iterations of Cars 3. There was another version of Cruz, this time a farm kid who wanted to be a race car, a completely different ending, one in which McQueen gives the number 95 to Cruz after winning the race representing Dinoco. This time Cruz would be representing Rust-eze in the future, a scrapped police chase sequence, and even more. If you want me to break down those two, I'll go for it. So with all that addressed, what do you think of this dark, twisted body swap plot? Would you have preferred it over the Cars 3 we got? I'd really love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and let's talk more. Thanks for watching, and till then.